So why is one of the top-rated aquariums in the country hidden at the base of the Smoky Mountains? In this video, we will take a closer look at this attraction and discuss reasons why anyone would think putting an aquarium at the base of a mountain seemed like a good idea and why it seems to be so successful. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. Now, this video isn't going to review the Ripley's Aquarium. There are plenty of other wonderful videos that will talk about every part of the aquarium and debate its value to the average consumer. Instead, our goal is to look at the aquarium in a different light and consider a question that probably not many have thought of since the aquarium was built in 2000. And that is why the Ripley's company decided to put an aquarium at the base of a mountain that, relatively speaking, wasn't and still isn't really known as a mecca for tourism. In fact, the Smokies still don't even have easy access for people to fly in or even driving. The closest airport is over an hour away and the highway is not close. So what made this area so attractive to the company? Though most people are familiar with Ripley's, believe it or not as many have had the opportunity to visit Ripley's Aquarium. And there's a good reason for this, since there are only 3 aquariums in the world, and all are in Northeast America. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and Toronto, Canada are 2 of the cities that house a Ripley's Aquarium. The other location, of course, is Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It makes sense why Myrtle Beach would make a great location for an aquarium, and even Toronto makes a certain kind of sense, as it's one of the largest cities in Canada and situated within hours of one of the biggest attractions in the United States and Canada, Niagara Falls. So what drew the Ripley's company to Gatlinburg? It's true that the Smoky Mountains are a major tourist destination and see millions of visitors a year. But the average visitor is coming to see mountains and bears and to enjoy the fresh country air and possibly ride a train in Dollywood. Sea turtles and clownfish aren't at the top of their list of interests. Otherwise, you would think that they would have gone to a seaside resort area and hopped in the ocean to swim with the dolphins. Yet in 2000, the Ripley's company laid the foundation and poured over 1.5 million gallons of fresh and seawater into the mountain resort area, at a cost of over $42 million, which was added to when they did the $5 million upgrade in 2010 with the Penguin Playhouse. This was no small investment. The 85,000 square foot attraction is filled with over 10,000 exotic animals, whose habitat and upkeep is extremely expensive. The maintenance and staffing of specialists, groundkeepers, and general support staff is another massive expense that would make most companies go belly up. If you look at it this way, it would seem to be an extremely risky investment. So why would they risk it here? To be successful, they would need a steady stream of reliable revenue for their continued success and survival as a profitable business. So in order to be successful, the company had to create an attraction that would draw the attention of both the young and the young at heart. It also needed to be big enough as well as profitable enough to keep the fish fed and the doors open. And it would appear that they were successful. There seems to be a steady stream of visitors excited to see what's inside each and every time we go. The cost of running an aquarium is going to be astronomical, and even though the newest Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto is considered a non-profit organization, the Gatlinburg one doesn't make such a claim. So it makes sense the cost for admission will be higher than most people are happy dishing out. At the time of this filming, an adult ticket will set you back $39 and $25 for a child. For a family of 4, this will cost you over $150 for only a few hours of entertainment. They do try to buffer the cost with combo passes and coupons. These are going to be your better value by far, giving you more things to do during your vacation and paying less for each attraction. The combo passes are also good for a year from the purchase date. From the minute you enter the aquarium, you are transported from the Smoky Mountains and cast into the immersive underwater experience. In the summer, the cool change of temperatures from the heat of the summer is refreshing and calming. On rainy or cold days, the melodic music and subtle lighting help you forget what you're leaving behind and encourage you to dive deep into the mystery of the ocean for a short time. Right after passing the first bathroom, there is the blaring reminder that they are still a business looking for your money when a smiling photograph asks you to take your photo. Once past the family portrait opportunity, you will enter the rainforest. Ironically, as the rainforest is one of the largest areas of the planet, it's a relatively small part of the aquarium, and you're quickly transported into the ocean realm. Here you will enjoy sights of creatures that you might see in the deeper parts of the ocean, such as jellyfish and schoolfish. As you keep walking, the next site is designed to impress the viewer with the scale and scope of the attraction. Here is where you will glimpse the sight of shark fins breaking the surface of the calm water and can watch as their lurking shadows shift just below the surface. The dim lighting is just as much for effect as for the comfort of the inhabitants of the tank below. This is one of my favorite spots to sit and watch. I'm not sure what it is about this area, but there's always a sense of mystery and intrigue as I wonder what is just below the glistening surface. Personally, I have a major fascination with the fish you will see in the next display. The tank is a carryover of the tropical rainforest, housing the massive arowana and other silent giants that glide in the deep waters of the Amazon jungle. You might even get a sprinkle of water from the waterfall above as you gaze inside, amazed at the size of these graceful prehistoric remnants of the past. As you continue on through the aquarium, you will notice a theming on how the animals are placed, but for the most part, they place the animals in a way that will keep the visitors interested and in awe. From the sea dragons to the giant crabs, you will get the chance to be amazed by the planet's natural delights on display. Some days you will luck out and see the octopus as it slinks its way around its enclosure, and other days you will get a chance to spot the elusive Sally, the green sea turtle that lives with the sharks. The true delight of any aquarium is that every day gives you something new to see. One of the aquarium's highlight is the 340-foot-long gliding tunnel under the shark enclosure. There is no end to wonder as you stand feet away from a massive tiger shark, close enough to almost touch the sharp, jagged teeth as they restlessly swim around you. A real delight is when one of the 20-foot sawtooth sharks takes a break on the glass tunnel above, letting you get a sense of their breadth and size as you glide beneath them. Getting to see these incredible creatures so close is a true delight for many people. Some people will argue that the penguins are the true reason they came to the aquarium. These charming black and white attired additions to the attraction are on clear display, with fun interactive tunnels to get up closer to these enchanting creatures. If you look closely, each has a name tag that you can go online to look up. The aquarium has a bio on their website for many of their penguins, giving you a glimpse of their personality and temperament. The Gatlinburg Aquarium is also a breeding facility. When visiting, you often will get to see the chicks as they are cared for by the staff. There is the stingray exhibit as well. In the lower levels, you can watch as manta rays and stingrays glide around in their own enclosure. If you want to have a more hands-on experience, you can also pay to hand feed the rays. Now, one of the things that any child-friendly attraction will require is an interactive area that children can run and play in. So Ripley's made sure they provided such an addition to their plans. There are 2 areas where kiddies can run without fear of reproval. One of the areas is also conveniently placed next to the bathrooms in the lower levels, and a small food stand that sells, of course, ice cream is found there. You will also find the jellyfish petting area, one of the few things that the aquarium includes in the admission price. The hours are not great, and we often miss them when visiting, but if you get there when open, it's really cool to pet a jellyfish. The glass boat was one of the more recent additions to the aquarium. The Ripley's company knows that they need to keep things interesting for guests. They understand that adding new attractions and keeping things fun and interesting are essential business models. Though the company has been in the Smokies since 1970, they haven't been stagnant. They continuously grow and develop their operations. They put in the Penguin Playhouse in 2010 at a staggering $5 million cost and keep providing activities such as sleepovers and birthday parties to keep revenue coming in. Repeat customers are just as important as first-time visitors. Since we are major aquarium fans, we invested in the annual membership program. This program gives you discounts with the other Gatlinburg Ripley's attractions, but the real deal comes with the fact that we can come and go anytime we want. If you plan on visiting the Smokies and the aquarium more than once a year, an annual membership is your best deal. So the initial quandary we discussed at the beginning of this video was why the Ripley's company decided to invest so heavily in the Smoky Mountains. I actually sent an email to the company asking that question. I seriously doubted they would answer, and I'm not surprised that I haven't seen one. There are probably some serious trade secrets involved in the answer anyway, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. My best guess is that Ripley saw what 14 million other people saw just last year alone. That the Smoky Mountains are a truly special place that invites similarly minded people to come and visit every year. Once you've seen the scale and scope of the mountains, you are hooked for life. Many people have made this place a yearly vacation destination and keep coming back, showing a loyalty that few other major tourist destinations in the country can boast. I wouldn't be surprised if the company bought up property in the 1970s like Disney did in Florida and waited to see what happened before fully developing it. If that was the case, then their investment seems to be coming to fruition, and they're doing extremely well. The Smokies are growing in scale and scope every year. There are those who are saddened and disheartened by the loss of their quiet mountain retreat and home, but for many, like the Ripley's company, it's a welcome sight and something to celebrate. And outside the 522,427 acres of land preserved and protected by the federal government called the Smoky Mountains National Park, commerce and growth are encouraged and allowed. But within those borders, those mountains are protected and made safe, kept pristine from the change and developments happening just feet away from their protected borders. And perhaps that is the reason the Ripley's company invested in this area. Maybe when you look out at the mountains, you're reminded of another kind of ocean. But instead of salt and water, you see an ocean of deep blues and greens, a sea of birds and wildlife that continues to live and grow, undisturbed and free from the hands of progress and commerce. Maybe it makes perfect sense why they chose this area for their oceanic-themed attraction, because the Smoky Mountains are a different kind of ocean. But this ocean is safe from commercialism and the plundering of their resources. Their peaks and valleys are protected and can be enjoyed by all who visit, an undisturbed ocean of life and peace for those coming to seek their blue mists and green shores. As always, I hope that you have enjoyed this Bare Facts video. Please hit the like button or subscribe to our channel and keep up to date on all the happenings and interesting facts we share through